Welcome to English Podcast. Subscribe our channel for more update.
Okay, so have you ever been talking to someone and you see that little look on their face? Maybe they lean in and go, sorry, what was that?
Or the classic, can you repeat that? Yeah, that feeling.
Exactly. If that sounds familiar, well, you're definitely in the right place for this deep dive. Today we are getting really practical. We're looking at 5 easy ways to speak more clearly.
And let's be clear up front, right?
Yeah.
This isn't about getting some kind of perfect broadcast accent or sounding like someone you're not.
No, not at all. It's really just about being understood the first time easily and feeling, more confident when you talk.
It's funny how we sometimes focus so much on like the grammar rules or memorizing vocabulary lists.
The building blocks.
That we forget about the actual delivery. How we say things is just as crucial for people to understand us. It's not just the words themselves.
Totally agree. And that's why we've dug into our resources and pulled out 5 really actionable tips. We'll break each one down.
What it is, why it works.
How you can practice it, and what you'll actually gain from it. So, ready to jump in?
Let's do it. Tip number 1.
Tip number 1, slow down when
You.
speak.
It sounds almost too simple, maybe, but honestly, the impact is huge.
It really is.
When we talk too fast, maybe we're excited, maybe a bit nervous.
Yeah, or just trying to get it all out.
The words just kind of smush together. Individual sounds get lost, and it makes it really tough for the listener to keep up and figure out what's being said.
And there's that common idea, isn't there, that fast equals fluent.
That misconception.
But our sources pointed out sometimes fast just sounds, messy, a bit jumbled.
Yeah.
We found this great story about a student, Maria. Apparently her English was technically excellent, good vocabulary, solid grammar.
But she spoke at lightning speed.
Exactly. And people were constantly asking her to repeat herself. So frustrating for her, I imagine.
Absolutely. But then she made a conscious effort. She focused on slowing her pace, adding little pauses.
And the change.
Dramatic. People suddenly started saying how clear her English was. Same words, same grammar, just better pacing.
It really shows that benefit for both sides, doesn't it?
It does. For you, the speaker, slowing down just a fraction gives you that vital moment to think, to really shape the words.
Time for your mouth to actually form the sounds properly.
Exactly. And for the listener, especially if they're also processing English as a second language or even just dealing with complex info, that extra beat is gold. It gives them time to actually hear and understand.
You mentioned complex info. Are there specific times when even native speakers really need to slow down, like giving directions?
Oh, definitely. Directions, technical explanations, anything detailed. You naturally slow down to make sure the other person gets it.
Right. So for everyone listening, here's a little practical thing. Try imagining you're explaining something, maybe a bit complicated, to like a 5-year-old.
You wouldn't rush, would you?
No way. You'd naturally slow right down. Another good exercise from the materials was recording yourself.
Self-recording.
Just read something short out loud, but consciously slower than usual. Then listen back. It can be quite eye-opening.
That listening back part is key. You step outside yourself and hear what others hear. Are my words distinct or are they running together? It builds that self-awareness.
Okay, that's slowing down. Tip number 2 is maybe a bit unexpected. Open your mouth more.
Yeah, this one's about the physical act of speaking, something we don't often think about.
Right.
Many people, maybe just out of habit, maybe a little self-conscious, tend to talk with their mouth, barely moving, kind of clenched.
Yeah, and the sources called it muffled speech. It's like trying to talk through your teeth. You get that sound.
Exactly like that. But just opening your mouth a little wider, Not ridiculously wide, obviously.
Wow. No need for facial gymnastics.
Right. But just a bit more space gives those vowel sounds room to breathe, to resonate properly. It makes the word sound much cleaner, more defined.
It's not about volume, is it? Not shouting.
No, absolutely not. It's about articulation, clarity. Think of your mouth like the opening of a musical instrument. It needs space for the sound to come out clearly.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So how do you practice this? The sources had an exercise, right?
Yeah.
With a mirror.
Yes. Look in a mirror and say a simple sentence like, I want to go to the market today.
Okay.
Say it normally first, then say it again, but consciously open your mouth a bit more, maybe exaggerate slightly just for the practice.
To feel the difference.
Exactly. It's about learning the physical feeling of making those English sounds clearly. It builds muscle memory, in a way.
Are there specific English sounds that really need that extra space?
Yeah.
What happens if you don't open up enough?
Oh, definitely. Think about those big vowel sounds like the ah in father or hot,
Right.
or the ow sound in now or house. If your mouth is too closed, that ah might sound more like or ow might become distorted.
And that leads straight to misunderstandings.
Instantly. So a little more jaw movement, a little more lip rounding or stretching where needed. It makes a real difference in how distinct those crucial vowel sounds are. It's all part of clear articulation.
Okay, makes sense. So we've got slowing down, opening your mouth. Tip 3 takes us into the rhythm and melody.
Ah, yes. Stress and intonation. The music of English, as one source nicely put it.
I like that. The music of English.
It's something learners often and understandably overlook when they're so focused on grammar and getting the words right.
Right, you're concentrating on the rules.
But the way our voice goes up and down, the words we emphasize, that's a huge part of sounding natural and being understood.
It really is a game changer. English isn't flat, is it? We don't stress every word equally.
Not at all. We punch certain words harder, make them a bit louder, longer, higher pitch sometimes.
Like the example, I want to go to the store. You immediately know want and store are the key bits of info.
Precisely. Now imagine saying that totally flat. I want to go to the store. Yeah, it sounds robotic, but more importantly, it makes it much harder for the listener to pick out the main message. It's just not how we naturally talk.
So how do you practice this music? The sources mentioned shadowing.
Right. Shadowing is brilliant for this. You basically listen to a short clip of someone speaking English, maybe a bit from a movie, a news report, even this deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
And you repeat it immediately after them, trying to copy everything. Not just the words, but the rhythm, the ups and downs, the emphasis, even the feeling behind it.
Like being their vocal shadow.
Exactly. You're tuning your ear and your voice to the natural flow. We even saw that great example sentence. I didn't say you stole the money.
Ah, yeah, the meaning changer.
Right. Stress I, emphasizing I. I didn't say you stole the money. Someone else did.
Okay.
Stress didn't, emphasizing didn't. I didn't say you stole the money. I implied it, maybe, but didn't say it.
Right. Completely different implication. Or stress you.
Emphasizing you. I didn't say you stole the money. I said someone else did. It shows how critical stress is for meaning.
Wow. So are there common ways that getting the stress wrong causes confusion? Like stressing the wrong part of a word?
Absolutely. Stressing the wrong syllable can make a word unrecognizable or sound like a completely different word. Think about record, the noun, versus record, the verb.
Totally different. So shadowing helps you internalize those patterns.
It really does. Cranes your ear and your mouth. Find audio you like and just mimic it. It feels weird at first, maybe, but it works.
Okay, super useful. Tip number 4. This one reframes something often seen as negative, using pauses wisely.
Yes. Pauses are not mistakes. They're tools, powerful ones.
There's definitely that feeling, especially when you're learning, that any silence means you've messed up or forgotten something.
Right. Like fluency means a constant stream of words, but that's not true. Good communicators use pauses deliberately.
So what are the benefits? Why pause?
Well, for you, the speaker, it gives you a moment to breathe and to gather your thoughts for what's next. It prevents that rushed, breathless feeling.
Makes sense. And for the listener.
It gives them time to digest what you just said, especially if it's a key point or a slightly complex idea. Think about great public speakers. They don't just machine gun their words out, they pause for emphasis, to let points land, to build anticipation sometimes. It makes their message much more impactful.
We saw that example sentence, didn't we? Today we're going to talk about how you can change your life in 5 minutes.
Said all in one go, it's okay, but a bit flat.
But with pauses.
Today.
Pause. We're going to talk about pause. How you can change your life. Pause. In 5 minutes.
See? Much more weight. Each part gets a chance to register. The pauses add clarity and impact.
So the advice is, don't fear the pause.
Embrace the pause. Use it. After a comma is a natural place. After you make an important point, even sometimes just between phrases if it helps you speak more clearly.
Could the length of the pause change the meaning? Like a super short pause versus a longer one?
That's a really interesting point. Yes, absolutely. A tiny pause might just be for breath. A slightly longer one often signals, hey, this bit was important, or I'm shifting gears now.
And a really long pause
could be for dramatic effect, or maybe to give the listener a real moment to think or respond. So yeah, pause duration matters too.
Okay, great insight. So that leads us to the 5th and final tip. This one feels very practical, very DIY.
It is. Record yourself and listen back.
Simple, but powerful.
Incredibly powerful. Because, as we said, when you're actually speaking, you're juggling so many things. Thinking, finding words, grammar.
Your brain's busy.
Exactly. You simply can't listen to yourself objectively in real time. It's almost impossible.
But hitting record on your phone, that's all you need, right?
That's it. Then listen back later when you're not focused on producing the speech, just receiving it. You become your own audience.
And what should you listen for? The sources had some specific questions to ask yourself.
Yeah, things like, am I too fast? Too slow? Are my words actually clear? Can I hear the individual sounds, or are they mushed together?
Am I using pauses effectively? What about my intonation? Does it sound flat, or does it have some natural rise and fall?
Asking those targeted questions helps you pinpoint specific areas to work on. Maybe you notice you always swallow the ends of your words, or perhaps you speak in a monotone when you get nervous.
And there was a bonus tip linked to this too, about comparison.
Right. Record yourself, maybe reading a short paragraph or telling a quick story. Then find a recording of a native speaker saying something similar or just speaking clearly.
And compare, but not necessarily to copy their accent, right?
Exactly. It's not about sounding identical. It's about listening for their clarity. How do they achieve it? Notice their rhythm, their pauses, how they stress words, the energy in their voice.
What makes them easy to understand?
Yes. And then think, okay, what 1 or 2 things could I try to incorporate from what they're doing to make my speech clearer? It gives you concrete models.
That comparison sounds really useful for identifying specific techniques. Okay, so those are the 5 practical tips. But the sources also stressed something else, something underlying all of this.
Yes. Confidence, the foundation.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can know all these techniques.
No, you should slow down, open your mouth, use pauses. But if you don't actually believe you can communicate clearly, it can hold you back.
It's like that negative self-talk loop. If you're thinking, oh, my English is terrible, or Nobody's going to understand me.
That anxiety, that lack of belief can actually come out in your voice, can't it?
Totally. You might speak too quietly or rush because you're nervous or mumble without realizing it. The fear physically affects the speech.
But flip that mindset. Start thinking, okay, I'm learning, I'm improving every day. I actually want to connect with this person.
Having that more positive, confident internal dialogue.
Often naturally leads to speaking more clearly, more assertively. You give yourself permission to be heard.
So really, to everyone listening, seriously, give yourself credit. You're here, you're putting in the work, you're learning. Every time you practice, every conversation you have, you are getting better.
Absolutely. Maybe we can even do that little affirmation together, the one from the source.
Yeah, let's do it. Just say it along with us, maybe even out loud if you can. I speak English clearly.
I believe in myself.
One more time. I speak English clearly.
I believe in myself. It sounds a bit cheesy maybe, but that self-belief genuinely helps.
It really does. Okay, so let's do a super quick recap of the 5 keys.
Got it. Number 1, slow down your pace.
Number 2, open your mouth a bit more.
Number 3, pay attention to and practice stress and intonation in the music.
Number 4, use pauses. They're your friends.
And number 5, record yourself and listen back critically.
Simple steps, but if you practice them, even just a little bit regularly,
you will notice a difference in your clarity, your confidence, and just how natural you sound.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive today. Just exploring these ideas is a big step.
We really hope you found it helpful, and we truly believe you can make huge strides in speaking more clearly.
Absolutely. And just remember that final thought we came across. Fluency isn't some magical talent you're born with.
No, it's a habit, something you build through practice.
So keep practicing. Keep talking.
Until next time, take care.